Coming up this morning, Speaker of Parliament urges politicians to stop beating war drums as he once again charges the EC to ensure a free, fair and transparent election. Meanwhile, a committee in the Legislative House is recommending amendment of the 1992 Constitution for presidents to pay tax and the scrapping of deputy and regional ministerial portfolios.
An amendment to the Constitution to allow the president to pay tax on his earnings. To impose upon him, if the provision is gone through, is carried through, to impose on him a duty to pay tax.
Also coming up, civil society organization for HIV and tuberculosis remains pessimistic, I beg your pardon, and skeptical despite government's assurance to clear shipment of essential drugs in 2 weeks. And later in the bulletin, education think tank Institute for Education Studies condemns busing of students to political rally of NPP's flag bearer, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, in the Ashanti region.
As the protocols that they went through, that enabled the release of these kids to the rally grounds. And I'm saying that this is something that should not be encouraged. We should condemn it so that it doesn't continue.
We've got details coming up shortly. Many thanks to you for choosing Star News. I am Nurein Abass. To begin the bulletin this morning, the Speaker of Parliament, Alban Barbin, has urged politicians to stop beating war drums ahead of the 7th December general election. Mr. Barbin has consequently once again asked the Jean Adukwe-Mensah-led EC to ensure a free, fair and transparent election. The comment of the Speaker follows his announcement he'll lead Parliament to engage all heads of constitutional bodies and other stakeholders ahead of this year's polls. He was speaking during the launch of the Democracy Cup to be played between Kumasi Asante Kotoko and Accra House of Oak as part of the 30th anniversary celebration of Parliament.
I want to take this opportunity once again to urge the Electoral Commission, that is the center referee for the upcoming elections, to conduct the exercise in a free, fair, transparent, peaceful and credible manner. The Electoral Commission cannot do it alone. We have to do it together. That's my initiative for Parliament to engage them, all the commissions and our leadership, for us to move together. I am happy, I'm very encouraged and truly satisfied that the chairperson humbly and respectfully accepted to be available at any time that Parliament needs her and her team to come for us to dialogue about the way forward. And so please, no war drums.
You heard the Speaker of Parliament, Alban Barbin. Now, still in the Legislative House, the Constitution Review Consultative Committee has proposed the amendment of the Constitution for presidents to pay tax. The committee wants Article 68, Clause 5 of the 1992 Constitution scrapped to impose on presidents a duty to pay tax on salary and emoluments as an example to the rest of the citizenry. According to the committee put together by Osei-Mensah Bonsu's led Ministry of Parliamentary Affairs, the move will reflect the principle of equality before the law. The committee also wants a limit of 25 ministers and a cap of 277 MPs.
The former president of Ghana Bar Association said they've recommended the abolishment of all positions related to deputy ministerial positions. So, which Ghana should not have deputy ministers. They also have recommended that Ghana should not have regional ministers. They say that it flouts equity rules where the president receives money from the public purse and not pay tax on his emoluments. They've recommended an amendment to the Constitution to allow the president to pay tax on his earnings. To impose upon him, if the provision is gone through, is carried through, to impose on him a duty to pay tax. Now, they also think on the legislature, they are of the view, the considered view, that our parliament should be capped. And they are proposing a cap of 277. Because I sat in some of the committee meetings, I understand why they are proposing a cap of 277. We have one constituency that is not represented.
Away from Parliament, civil society organizations for HIV and tuberculosis say they remain skeptical despite government's assurance to clear a shipment of essential drugs in 2 weeks. The drugs provided by the Global Fund have been at the port for about a year waiting to be cleared, prompting the Global Fund to restrict funding to the country. Convener of the CSOs, Ernest Orton, spoke with my colleague, Awisi Dede Jange.
Exactly 2 months ago, when we organized our press conference, the government came out and assured the whole nation that within 1 week they were going to clear the commodity. 8 weeks on, they still remain at the port. So the question is, if they are now promising 2 weeks, what is the real guarantee that this will be fulfilled? So we've seen the statement from the ministry that we are very skeptical of it. Because 8 weeks ago, they assured the entire country that within 1 week, they were going to clear all the remaining commodities. Since then, the status quo has remained. So why should this be any different to us? So we've seen it before, and we are very skeptical. Until we see the commodities come up, we are very skeptical.
Ernest Orton maintained that the CSOs will present a petition to President Akufo-Addo to forestall future governments from putting lives at risk.
On June 23, we are presenting a petition to the president. And in this petition, we are going to catalog the kind of challenges that even beyond the Global Fund, other donors are having with us. There are so many bottlenecks when it comes to this issue of commodities clearance. So it's not just a one-time of clearance that we want to see. We want to see a real commitment from government as to how this issue is going to be dealt with going forward.
You're still listening to the Starr Breakfast News. Now, the governing New Patriotic Party is denying busing some senior high school students to the Kumasi Jubilee Park for a Youth Connect event during Dr. Bawumia's visit. This comes after opposition NDC called out the school authorities for allowing such political infiltration into the school. However, NPP's Ashanti Regional Director of Communication, Paul Kwabena Yando, says the presence of the students at the event is a mere coincidence.
The program started around 5:30 p.m. and as a result, we have a lot of day students who had closed and they were returning to their homes, who found their way to the Youth Connect that has everybody trying to connect with Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. If you are passing by, you see, the program was about the youth, and every secondary school child is a youth. And so when they see a lot of people there who are their age mates, definitely there will be that attraction which drew them to the program. So we would not say we bash anybody, just that we have a lot of day students around this area. KTR is just close by, Abass is just close by.
You heard the NPP's Ashanti Regional Director of Communication, Paul Kwabena Yando. Meanwhile, education think tank Institute for Education Studies, that's IFEST, is condemning the alleged busing of students to the political rally. Executive Director Peter Anti is demanding school authorities to be queried by the Education Service, with a statement released subsequently to bar such behavior.
Well, I sometimes you have to be frank with the truth. If this happened under the NDC, I mean, if the students were found doing an NDC releasing statements and querying what really happened that enabled these students to be able to attend these rallies. So let's call a spade a spade. What happened was not appropriate. You don't do that. You don't move students out of their compound, I mean their school compound, during instructional hours, and especially when their parents and the school authorities are not aware. This is not how you go about. I cannot just get up and say that I'm having a program and therefore students from a particular school should get out from campus and then I come and attend to my program.
You had the Executive Director of IFEST, Peter Anti. Now, Director of the Confucius Institute, University of Ghana, Professor Wang Jim, has charged Ghanaian students to take keen interest in studying the Chinese language to help establish global perspectives and enhance cultural diversity. According to him, it will help secure scholarship opportunities available to study in China and job opportunities. He made these remarks during a Chinese bridge competition organized by the Confucius Institute by the University of Ghana.
language proficiency contest for Ghanaian students. This is for the university students. The week before last, we held this competition for the middle school students. It is a competition to choose or to pick the best competitors to go for the global competition in China. So it is very important. The students who win this game will be a representative of Ghana. And the content of it, except from the language thing, we also need the students to have some talents, maybe dancing, maybe singing, or some other Chinese traditional arts. So through this competition, students can improve their language proficiency quickly, and they will set a good example to others who are learning Chinese language.
And that brings us to the end of the Star Breakfast News this morning. When you log on to starfm.com.gh, you'll find more news updates there. I am Nurein Abass. Many thanks for your company.